Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast to guide you home into your human journey here on Earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard, and it is my delight to co-create with Gaia and share our messages from Source in this now moment. Here we go. Episode 403. It is Friday here in Cincinnati. It's gorgeous. Again, we have the most beautiful September weather. The leaves are coming down fast, but it's so pretty outside today. I think the high is like 60 and it's blue skies and sunshine. So I hope wherever you are, if the seasons are changing, you are finding time to get outside and enjoy the cycles. It's amazing to watch nature just like flow through her own evolution, and we get to witness it. It's the most beautiful thing. I think we forget that sometimes on our planet, that beauty is like everywhere. It's all around us. And I was just listening to someone the other day, and she said she realized that her neck hurt because even when she was running, she was like looking down at the ground while she was running. And it's made me so much more aware when I'm outside, like lift the chin up, look, look at all the beauty, watch what's happening around instead of the pavement right in front of us. And so I think that reminder today is so important. Yeah, I have been listening to this song for the last few weeks and wondering, like, when is it going to be the right time to bring this into the podcast? And so it feels like today. If you are an ABBA fan, you're going to love today's episode. If you're not an ABBA fan, you should be an ABBA fan. So I'm going to introduce you to just a little bit of their story and a very brief overview of their story, and then their latest song and the lyrics and how that is resonating with me at this time. So ABBA is this beautiful group from way back when. I think their last album was like 40 years ago. So funny, I don't have any of my notes. I thought I was going to talk about it when it first came out 3 weeks ago, and I haven't. So I'll just try and remember the best I can. They were this beautiful band that I grew up listening to. My dad loved ABBA, and so he would play all their albums, and I knew all their songs. And then they stopped touring and playing. They were this huge international success. And I think one of the members, I watched a video, one of the members just got a little tired of all the public attention and said, we're kind of done. And so they just disappeared. And 40 years later, 3 weeks ago, they released 2 new singles. And it was, for me, it was out of nowhere. I had no idea they were going to do it. And it was so exciting. My daughter sent me a text that morning. She's like, Mom, because, I raised her, of course, also on ABBA. And then Mamma Mia came out. And so we went to see Mamma Mia, and then we watched the movie and cried. So we are big ABBA fans here. So when she heard the song on Spotify, there were 2 releases, and she sent them over to me. And so the one is called I Still Have Faith in You. And I'm just going to read you a little bit of the lyrics, not the whole song, but I highly suggest watch the video. It's so cool. They made a video, ABBA did, that sort of chronicled their story of all that they had been through in the mass attention and hysteria around their concerts and their work and their traveling and touring, and then just sort of their choice to go into some silence. And it's just such a great video. And then the song lyrics, it's amazing. It's just amazing. What I have been feeling is that those lyrics are, it's perfect around the full moon in Pisces that we were just talking about last week. I feel like it's this call to remember, or this call to action for us to feel like, can we come together as a humanity? Can we find within ourselves that spark of faith that this thing that's happening is just a little blip in the history of humanity, and we're going to move through all of the division and polarity that's happening and come back to this reunion, perhaps sweeter than it's ever been before. And the lyrics feel like that to me. It's this reminder, like, come on, I still have faith in you. Do you have faith in yourself? Do you have faith in us and this possibility of what can happen? And their story just speaks to that. They were two couples married, and then now they're two couples divorced. They are no longer married, but they came back together and created this incredible music, even though all this personal healing and shifting has happened in their own individual journeys. They were able to come back together and produce this gift to humanity. So I love it. I just went to YouTube earlier to see they have 22 million views already in just 3 weeks, which for a band from 40 years ago, I think that speaks to how much it's resonating with people. So here's the lyrics. Some of them, I won't read everything. This is by ABBA. I still have faith in you. I see it now. Through all these years, that faith lives on somehow. There was a union of heart and mind, the likes of which are rare and oh so hard to find. Do I have it in me? I believe it is in there. For I know I hear a bittersweet song in the memories that we share. I still have faith in you, and I will say I never really thought I would feel this way. But I remind myself of who we are, how inconceivable it is to reach this far. I mean, is that line for humanity? How inconceivable it is to reach this far. Do I have it in me? I believe it is in there. For I know I hear a bittersweet song in the memories we share. Do we have it in us? New spirit has arrived, the joy and the sorrow. We have a story, and it survived. And we need one another, like fighters in a ring. We're in this together. Passion and courage is everything. I still have faith in you. It stands above the crazy things we did. It all comes down to love. Do I have it in me? I believe it is in there. I am always blown away when lyrics just nail it and they go right to the heart of a vibration that's pulsing on our planet, and they just lock in. And you can just feel the lyrics coming around your heart and going, oh, this. And I know there's so many people who feel that way with so many different artists and albums and lyrics. For me, this one just feels so tender and so powerful. And when I was feeling into what today's sort of vibration or message or energy would be that I would share, it was this invitation to internally get clear on what we each still have faith in. I didn't say it very well, but I can feel it. I can feel it is in here. I know it is in me. It's this is what I've been feeling. When we still have faith, when each of us individually still have faith, then what we have faith in is going to expand. So I looked up the definition of faith, and it said complete trust or confidence in someone or something. So if we're putting our attention on someone or something, that attention is where all of our energy is focused, and we're going to expand it. And so when I was thinking of the title for today, it wasn't I still have faith in you, or I still have faith in us, or I still have faith in religion, or I still have faith in the planet, or I still have faith in education or health or science, or it's not that. It's the title is ambiguous enough to include whatever it is we all have faith in. So still having faith in what? In what? Like what is it that when we get really still and quiet inside of ourselves, we know like this is the thing above all else that I still have faith in? And maybe it's love, like they describe at the end of the song. It all comes back to love. And so if I still have faith in love, and love is what I'm focusing on, love is what I'm going to expand. If I still have faith in music, and music is what I'm focusing on, and music is where I'm putting my faith, and music is what I'm creating more of, then music is going to flow through me in bigger and bigger ways. And so music is what I will expand, because that's what I'm putting my faith in. If we if we have faith in the government or faith in science or faith in, um, I mean, there's so many, there's so many things you could have faith in, but whatever it is, it's like this line between faith and power, right? Like when I have faith, it's coming from inside of me, and I'm putting my attention on it, and I'm focusing on it, and I'm expanding it. I'm putting my power into that. And so I feel like we need to be very aware of what it is we're putting our faith in. If we put our faith in other people to somehow save us or be the miracle or be the cure or be the ones with all the knowledge, be the guru, if we're putting all of our faith in someone external that they then have that power, that authority over us, because all of our energy, our attention is being directed into that individual. And so their power is expanding, ours is like merging into theirs, and then we're completely attached to whatever it is they do with their time. I looked at that in a session this week with a friend, a client, and she's supporting somebody who is running for office. And there was just this awareness of the individual who's running for office has their own experience. And yet, what's our relationship with supporting that person who's doing that thing that's important to them? Are we pouring all of our energy into supporting their mission? Well, is that also our mission? Is that also the thing that we're here to do individually? And so there's some untangling of that I feel like could be really powerful. How do we use our resources? I want to say limited, but it's not limited. How do we use our reserves of energy, and how are we directing them? And so if I'll speak for myself. I'll speak for myself because I was really pondering this in my meditation time. I'm like, if I had to say what I have faith in over everything, I'm looking at my meditation area over there, over everything, I absolutely have faith in love, for sure. I have faith in energy and in consciousness and in source. I would say, in this human journey, the focus of my faith, what I still am directing the majority of my attention and my time to, is this consciousness of our planet. Gaia, the energy field of Gaia, evolving into whatever her next evolution is going to be. And so it plays out as like climate change and earthquakes and, all these other things. But there's a core energy and evolution that our planet is moving through that is rumbling underneath all of those external things that we're focusing on. And for me, when I say the words, I still have faith, or still having faith, especially in this podcast space, I'm still having faith in the love of our planet, in Gaia's love, in Gaia's flow of energy, in Gaia's creative force, continuing to create this home in which all of us as souls in human bodies can have this incredible experience. If we don't have Gaia in her beauty, her magic, her steadiness, if Gaia isn't in her steadiness, none of us are going to be able to have this human experience. It will come to an end. And so I don't believe for a moment that that's what is going to happen. I don't believe that's what Gaia is choosing to put her. She hasn't created all of this to just implode and end all of this. I don't believe it. And so I believe our planet is constantly birthing new energy, creating new energy, moving consciousness and awareness around our planet, and supporting all of the evolution and play that humans want to experience while we're here. And so when I say I still have faith, absolutely, still having faith in Gaia is like the understructure of everything, because if our planet doesn't exist, none of us exist. And we're still here, so she's still here. so clearly, like, that energy it's like what I shared the parable in last week's episode, the parable of the two twins, and they're in the womb and they're wondering who mother is. Well, mother is the womb in which they're existing. And it's the same for us. we exist within this force field of energy called Gaia. And so when I was reading the lyrics, so much of what I was feeling is humanity and Gaia exchanging, having this sort of song and dance. Do you still believe in yourself? I think it's in there. I think so. We have this bittersweet song. We've screwed up so many times, and yet somehow you keep letting us come back and recreate and make more memories together. Right? Do I have it in me? Do I have it in me? And I have this sense that as our as our planet is moving through her evolution, which we can just sort of sense, but I don't know that we can actually always put words to what is happening on our planet. If we look at the whole timeline of, ice age, well, the Big Bang and then ice ages and then dinosaurs, I'm probably all out of the sequence, but floods, like there have been all these global planetary adjustments that our planet physically has been going through. I believe energetically, she's evolving through something consciously. She's evolving through something that is reflected in that physical transformation, in that physical change. And so here we are, all of us billions of humans, thinking we're so cool, we're so creative, we're so wise. Look at us doing all these things. Well, as we're evolving, as we're learning, as technology is moving us through whatever humans are understanding, what about Gaia? There must be a match in the womb in which we are creating. There must be something happening in the air, in the water, in the soil, in the deepest core of Gaia. There's something that is shifting, that is being reflected in the physical. And because we're just one little moment of time in this immense timeline, we don't have the perspective to be able to see how our little blip fits into all of it. We just are here in our little blip going, I don't know, there's earthquakes, there's floods, what's going on? The planet is getting warmer, the ice caps are melting. Yes, absolutely, all of that is true. And all of that ripples into our human experience. But what's happening energetically that's creating that physical manifestation? It's energy first, physical next, always. Energy first. So what's happening with our planet? And when perhaps this is a good little energy tip for those who aren't playing with it in the same ways that maybe I and others do. I've found that when there's a niggling thought, or when I'm in meditation and my awareness is locked into one thing and I can't think about anything else, all that I can focus on is this one thing in my meditation time, and my mind and my soul are like wrestling through trying to understand why it's coming up in my meditation time. It's because that's the thing that has the most truth and energy and oomph to it in my journey at this time. And meditation, when I'm still and I'm focusing my thought, meditation is when my soul is able, my subconscious is able to say to me, hey, pay attention. Pay attention. You're so distracted by all these other things that you're missing the boat on this really important rumbling that is happening. And if you see it now, if you look at it now, if you pay attention to it now, what's going to happen is you'll be prepared when it manifests in a little bit in the physical. So look. And I used to try push those away. I think a lot of people in meditation practices or teachings, they'll say, just get all the thoughts out. Let the thought come in and move the thought out. like it's poison. Get the thought, move the thought. And what I have found is let the thoughts just float. Let the thoughts just come in and move. And when you reach a centeredness, a stillness inside, the thing you need to look at is going to come forward, and it wants to be like a puzzle piece or like a Rubik's Cube. It wants to be sort of looked at from different angles and moved around and understood. It's like when you look at the Rubik's Cube and you kind of hold it and you have to turn to see where all the colors are and how you might be able to move the pieces of the colors and bring everything into alignment. that's often what happens for me and others, I'm sure, in meditation time, in energy readings. The thing that needs the most attention or focus is going to be the thing that comes through first, most powerfully, that you can't just dismiss it. Your mind will not let you let it go. Like you're here and you're just trying to understand it. It's I feel like sometimes we resist that and try to dismiss it. And then our soul keeps bringing it back. Like, I tried to give you this gift. You didn't want to look at it. And now it's getting a little louder. Are you going to look at it yet? And then it just keeps showing up until finally we spend the time and look at it. I have found the sooner that that sort of intensity, or what would the best words be to describe it? It's like everything becomes, all the distractions go away, all the noise goes away, and all I can think about is this one thing, whatever it is that's showing up at that time. All I can focus on is this one thing. It's like it's so clear, it's so ready to be explored, that I can't find the words or the ideas of anything else to consider or to look at. It's like, here, I got to look at it. If you start to find that that is happening for you, trust that your soul is trying to show you this is the thing we need to take a look at, which I guess comes all the way back around to still having faith. Maybe the opposite end. So what I'm describing is when you're in meditation and your soul's like, look at this one thing. But what about if we're proactive? What we're practicing in that meditation time of looking at the thing that needs our attention and analyzing it and coming to clarity on it so that we can let it release, so that there can be some more space added in it? What if that practice is then applied in our waking state or our everyday activities, so that we start learning how to really harness our attention and our mind's power? And this is where still having faith feels so true to me. If What is it that you have faith in? You individually, what do you have faith in the most? And if that's the thing that is the most important or true to you, is that where the majority of your time and attention is going? Because if that's what you still have faith in, is that what you're supporting? Is that what you're pouring your time into? And I say that sitting here knowing I get distracted way too often. I will say, like, this is what I want to focus on, and then I pick up my phone and I'm diving into Instagram stuff and watching a YouTube video and finding things I need to do that really are probably not necessary to do, but right? Like, I I'm pretty good at targeting and focusing my mind and my attention, but I'm not excellent at it. No, not even close. And and it's okay. Maybe we're not meant to be excellent at it, but the awareness that if what I still have faith in is this human journey here in this energy field of Gaia, and the dance that is happening constantly as Gaia evolves and humans evolve, is that where all of my attention and my time and my heart, my faith is being poured in supporting that. And my ratios are not great. I mean, I spend a lot of time in what I most have faith in, but I could do way better. And also, I still have faith in family. I absolutely have faith in health and wellness. I have faith in sunshine and play and laughter. I have faith in, the intimacy of a husband and wife, like just supporting each other. So there's lots of things I have faith in that I invest a lot of my time and my attention in. But the underlying one, like, I'm really clear on what that is. And and definitely there's more I could do to push the needle on that, as they say. So yeah, what do you have faith in? And how are you in alignment with that? How are you in alignment with that? There's a great quote I put on my Instagram story yesterday. It's from Wayne Dyer, and he said, I don't have it with me right now, but he said something like, um, if you want to attract kind and generous and loving people into your world, then look at if you are that. Because if you're cruel and weak and selfish, those are the words he used: cruel, weak, and selfish. If you're those three, you're not going to attract kind, generous, loving people into your world. And that is such a simple way of saying, are you aligned with what you have faith in? Are you walking the talk? Are you being who it is you want to see reflected in the other beings around you? Yeah, right. That's that's a lot. There's a great what's it called? Like a prayer poem mantra that Louise Hay has. I keep it open on my desk now. And I did a whole podcast on it a couple of years ago, I think. I have to see if I can find it. But I talked about Louise Hay's book and how she has these, You Can Heal Your Life is her book, and she has these beautiful prayers and mantras that you can repeat and say over and over. And when I was going through my divorce and setting up life on my own as a single mother, and my own home, and my work, and it was just a lot to try to navigate, I would say that prayer, that poem, every morning and put those words out in front of me. And what happened is I started to create exactly that. And eventually I stopped saying the words, but the vibration had already been sent out. And one day I remember, it was when I made the podcast, I was like, oh my God, I created it. I created exactly the thing that I had been praying about and sending out energetically for all those years. And one of the lines that she says in there that I just love so much, she said, I only attract loving people into my world, for they are a reflection of who I am. Isn't that beautiful? Like, that's who I call towards me, loving people, because what I'm sending out is this love. And so as I say this title, like still having faith, the name of this podcast is Gaia's Love. So if Gaia is sending love to all of us all the time, what she's wanting to receive back, or able to receive back, is that same love from us. And I feel like the reason we have so much chaos and so much discord, and we forget or we resist, we create our own drama instead of just receiving that love and giving that love right back to her, just being in this beautiful flow of energy of loving our planet and the gifts that she constantly shares with us, and then like giving those gifts of love back to her, and just having this huge, immense, expanding cycle of love that's just circling between humanity and Gaia. I think we've just forgotten, maybe, or gotten so busy. We're too busy to remember what it's like to be loved by our planet's consciousness. Silly us. Silly us. So that's a whole ramble about this beautiful song. I suggest listening to ABBA, I Still Have Faith in Us. See what it brings up in you. It might take you on a whole different path, and you get an entirely different interpretation. If so, share it with me. I'd love to hear how this song is interpreted. And then what is it that you still have faith in? What is it for you? Maybe spend some time journaling and reflecting like I have, and feeling I guess this is the last little gift I would offer you. When I was quietly just asking myself over and over, okay, what is it I still have faith in? What is it to me that under everything, this is what I still have faith in? And when it came all the way back down to Gaia and the love of Gaia, and which I believe is source. Source is in every creation. And so source is absolutely in the center of Gaia's creative force. There's like, oh, Gaia, like I have faith in this planet's consciousness and in what she is holding for all of us to experience. The joy that I felt in naming that core truth of mine, that core faith. What is it? The complete trust in someone or something, complete trust and confidence. I have infinite, unlimited trust and confidence in the beauty and the love of our planet, and all that we get to experience while we're here with her. And so naming that for myself was like, oh, so good. It's so good. And so sometimes maybe that's what we need is just a pause to be able to really drop in with our own quiet knowing and be reminded by ourselves, for ourselves, of what we still have faith in. So enjoy the journey. It's going to be beautiful. And then I will see you here next week. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in Viv's Energy Gym, where we are building a community of leaders in this new earth, exploring infinite embodiment, the soul aligning harmoniously with the human body and mind. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.